My mom left my 10-year-old waiting for hours, so I took him to Chuck E. Cheese myself. Isaac turned 10 last Thursday, and my mom promised him Chuck E. Cheese like it was locked in. 3 weeks earlier, she wrote it on our family calendar in red marker. Your big day, buddy? I'm 19, still living at home while I take community college classes and work closing shifts at Target. That Thursday, I got off at 4 p.m. and drove home expecting we'd leave soon. When I pulled in, Isaac was already sitting on the porch steps in his good blue-collared shirt, the one he saves for school pictures in church. Mom's car wasn't there. I sat beside him and said, "You look nice." He checked his phone and said, "Mom said we're leaving at 4:30. She texted at 3 that she'd be here." I nodded, but my stomach sank because I'd seen this before. She'd missed his real birthday in March, then tried to patch it with fast food days later. In June, she promised a water park and canceled. Last month, she swore they'd go to the movies and fell asleep on the couch. Isaac didn't argue anymore. He just waited, quiet, like being hopeful was his job. 4:30 passed. At 5:30, his phone buzzed and he read the text out loud. "Running late. Traffic is crazy. Be there by 6. He sat up straighter, like the message fixed everything. 6 came. 6:15 came. He kept refreshing the texts like the words might change. The sun was starting to drop, and Isaac still didn't move. He wasn't crying either. He'd learned not to cry about her. That was the part that made my throat burn. I checked my bank account. $47.20. Payday wasn't until Monday. I needed gas to get to work the next 2 days. I also needed food, and my car was already low. I looked at Isaac's neat collar and the way he kept glancing down the street, and something in me snapped. "Get in the car," I said. He looked up. "But Mom said—" "I know," I said. "Get in." He hesitated for a second, then climbed in like he was scared I'd change my mind. Chuck E. Cheese was about 20 minutes away and closed at 8 on weekdays. I kept watching the clock and doing the math. The $25 birthday package would leave me with about $22 to last until Monday. My hands were sweating on the steering wheel, but Isaac was staring out the window with this tiny, careful smile. We pulled into the parking lot at 6:35. The place was almost empty, just 2 other families and a tired teen at the prize counter. Isaac unbuckled fast, like he didn't want the moment to vanish. At the front desk, I asked for the $25 package. Pizza, drinks, tokens, crown. I swiped my card and held my breath while the screen loaded. It went through. The worker put a shiny paper crown on Isaac's head and said, "Birthday boy? How old?" 10, Isaac said, barely above a whisper. The worker smiled and quietly added extra tokens. Isaac stared at the card like it was a golden ticket. "Go," I told him, and he took off. He played everything. Basketball, racing, the fishing game, the creepy laughing one with the lights. Every few minutes he ran back to me to show the ticket printout like it was proof this was real. I kept cheering him on and trying not to think about my gas gauge. Around 7:30, we ordered the pizza. It came out with a candle stuck in the middle, and the 3 workers sang happy birthday. Isaac's face went red, but he was grinning so hard he couldn't sit still. "Make a wish," I said. He blew out the candle fast and refused to tell me what he wished for. We ate, then squeezed in a few more games until the closing announcement started. Isaac checked the total and said, 347 tickets, like he just won a trophy. At the prize counter, he froze, staring at the choices. "Sticky hand," he said, then shook his head. "Or the bear." He looked at me like he needed permission to pick the better thing. "Get the bear," I said. He picked a small stuffed bear and hugged it to his chest like it was worth $1 million. I bought him a drink to go, and we sat in my car at 8:15 with the crown crooked on his head and chocolate on his chin. He held the bear up, took a selfie, and asked, "Can you send it to me? I want to post it." "Yeah, buddy," I said, and sent it. He stared at the photo, then said, soft and amazed, "This is the best birthday ever." Right then, my phone rang. Mom. I answered because Isaac saw her name. "Where are you?" she said, sounding half asleep. "I fell asleep after work. Can we still do Chuck E. Cheese? Are they open?" I looked at Isaac, still smiling, still squeezing that bear. "We already went," I said. Silence. Then she snapped, "What do you mean you already went?" "I mean, I took him," I said. "He waited outside for hours, Mom." Her voice got sharp. "You had no right. He was sitting on the porch in his good shirt watching the street, believing you," I said. She stopped, breathed once, and hung up. Isaac turned toward me, bear pressed to his chest. "Is she mad?" he asked. I swallowed and said, "Doesn't matter. Now my mom is saying I overstepped by taking him out. Was I wrong?"